Hi folks, Tommy Straza coming at you. In today's video, we are going to go over 3 right-hand tricks used by the late great Stevie Ray Vaughan. I loved Stevie, I still do. I've been listening to him since I was a kid. I wish I could have seen him live. I never got to. The summer that he passed away, that June of 1990, I live in central New Jersey, and him and Joe Cocker were sharing the bill at the Arts Center here in New Jersey. And I was just a broke kid right out of high school. And I was just like, I'll have to catch him next time. I don't have money for a ticket. And I never got to see him. That being said, thanks to the wonders of VHS video technology in the early 1990s, sold at every place from flea markets to county fairs, I was able to acquire some live footage of Stevie Ray Vaughan. My favorite one being the Live from Japan concert from 1985. He's wearing the red suit, the red velvet suit, the red hat. It comes out, he starts to show he's smoking a pipe. What a badass he was. And I've watched that concert so many times. When I was at Berklee College of Music, my friends Chris and Bob and I would watch that video multiple times a day and get inspired from it. Our jaws would drop. We would just get so blown away by it. We would leave the door in our dorm room open, and people literally walking down the hall would see what we were watching, and all of a sudden you had a room full of people watching Stevie. It was not uncommon in the dorms of Berklee College of Music. So shout out to Chris and Bob. So one of those things that I noticed in that video, also the great concerts, the one from the El Macambo from 1983 when they were still playing clubs, or maybe one step up from clubs. Austin City Limits. I never really saw the one, I believe, from the Soul to Soul tour where they were singing through the square microphones, the Sennheisers. I don't think Stevie was in the best shape during that tour. Still sounded great, but they weren't as focused as they once were. I think that's safe to say. And of course, I don't mean any disrespect. On their worst day, they were still better than most of us on our best. So anyway, my first observation about what Stevie would do, this is a very, very common blues lick. If we're playing an A, we're on 10th fret, 2nd string with our 3rd finger's ring finger. Okay, then we're going to go 8th fret on the 1st string, the high E string, and then we're going to bend on a whole step bend on the 10th fret on the E string, and then back to the 8th fret, and then 10th fret on the 2nd string on the B string. So that's what I thought Stevie was doing. He was also doing a couple of other things that I did not catch on to until much later on. One of which is that when he was bending the string, it looks like he was using his pick, like kind of doing that, like an upstroke with his pick. I don't think he was. At least maybe sometimes he was, other times he wasn't, but I saw a couple of times he was using the nail on his middle finger of his right hand and going. So to get the string to slap against the wood, Stevie used like 13 gauge strings. He had monstrous frets, probably jumbos, on his guitar. Also tuned down a half step, so that really enabled him to play those really heavy strings with the monster frets and get his incredible tone. Of course, we found out later, thanks to Rick Beato, that string gauge doesn't really matter too much, but I believe in the case of Stevie, it might have played a small part. We all know tone comes from your hands first and foremost, and if that's the case, Stevie could have played a $100 Hondo guitar and just made it sound great. I've seen video of Dave Grohl playing a kid's drum set, and sounds like Dave Grohl. It sounded killer. So anyway, getting back to our blues lick here. That's what I thought he was doing. So he is doing that with the nail on his middle finger, but what he's also doing with the left hand that I never noticed until years later is that he was also, after this bend, he's taking his middle finger on the 9th fret and bending that a half step up to this note. It's a very Albert King thing to do. Of course, Stevie was a huge fan of Albert King, and they knew each other. I don't know how close they were, but you know, all together it sounds like this. So that's how he would kind of add tension. Stevie would also build up in his solos, maybe in some of the slower blues songs, like be it Texas Flood or Tin Pan Alley, which is going to be our next example as well. That's what there's a great record producer named Michael Beinhorn. In an interview, he was talking about Soundgarden, and he was talking about control and release. And that's totally what Stevie is doing here. Control, building it up, and then release. So is it... and he would unleash on us, you know, like only Stevie could. So that's trick number one with the right hand is, well, both hands for this one, actually. So he's plucking with the middle finger, hit the nail on his middle finger to really get that string to slap against the wood. But also, so that half step bend on the 9th fret in between the two notes up just to add that tension. So trick number 2, I watched him do on the Live from Japan video for the song Tin Pan Alley / Dirty Pool. Pickup switch. So we were all the way down on the bridge for the first trick. Sorry about that. I failed to mention that. So we're going to go 1 up. So bridge pickup, 1 up for this one. And this is kind of a rake that he would do with the pick. Kind of a, I don't want to say sweep picking because that's completely different territory, but I guess it's kind of a sweep or a rake. But what we would do, I'll play this in D minor. So he would kind of arpeggiate a chord / add some hammer-ons to it and get this really excellent sound. So we're playing about half of a D minor chord here. And what he would do is he would down pick the 12th fret of the D string, hammer on from the 10th to 12th frets on the 3rd string on the G string, and then go to the bottom and rake up, down pick again on the 12th. So down pick on the 12th fret, down pick and hammer on the 3rd string, 10th to 12th frets, and then rake up. Okay, and you finish where you started. So and he would, you know, go up the strings on it. So it's kind of it's a pretty slick move, and you know, Stevie made it sound awesome. So that's a right hand trick number 2. Right hand trick number 3. He had this triplet thing. We're going to use the neck pickup for this. This is a Fender Stratocaster, but it's not a true to form Fender Stratocaster. These are Texas Special pickups that they put in the Stevie Ray Vaughan model Stratocaster. That is not what this guitar is. This is a Frankenstrat, if there ever was one. And I put a Seymour Duncan little 59 in the bridge position. I just needed that little extra humbucker oomph for some of my gigs. So we're going to the neck pickup here, and Stevie would kind of play more bassier chords and kind of have this triplet, 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 and he would kind of move up and down the neck. You would never really see him go too much past the neck pickup. I think this is to add some warmth and some bass to what he was trying to play, because you know, if you play down here closer to the bridge, you get a more brighter, tighter, because the strings get tighter as you move closer to the bridge. Like. So it gets warmer just because of the string loosening up in this region of the guitar. So Stevie just knew that because he played played the thing so much. He knew the guitar inside and out. Not only were the right and wrong notes were, but he knew every aspect of every string, how each pickup worked, how to get feedback. You know, there's a reason they would compare him to Jimi Hendrix. They were completely different players in some ways, but very similar in others. But both, of course, had unique personalities. And I could never pull off any of the clothes that any of them wore. Either one of them wore, unfortunately. Anyway, so what Stevie would be doing here is this triplet up and down the neck. Triplet, 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 triplet. So that's definitely how he did that. I don't know the motivation. I guess it's just something he picked up, or maybe saw somebody else do somewhere along the way. Why he would move the hand. It seemed to come more from the elbow instead of the wrist. Maybe a combination of the two. So that's right hand trick number 3. So just to recap. Our first one is so plucking with the middle finger, the nail of the middle finger on the right hand. Pick, pluck. Okay, and trick number 2, we're one pickup notch up from the bridge, and we have the and neck pickup and the triplet. Triplet, triplet, triplet. Okay, so that's it for this week's video. Hopefully better than the first one. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Thank you so much. My name is Tommy Straza, and we will see you next time. Be well. Tommy out.